Ditsala, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bonnie Gamona, also known as Herero Rocher across social media platforms. Pour up a glass and let us have a nice chat. So firstly, if you are new here, thank you so much for watching. If you are a regular subscriber, thank you for the support. And of course, the new people, please subscribe. What we're trying to do here, this is a new year and this is my year of 30. I'm turning 30 this year. So I'm trying to do things, not really differently, just more intentionally, more vibrantly, more vigorously, I'm really out here. So I wanted to start the year with a Q&A for people that are new on the channel. And then we can start momentum that's a bit more consistent. Of course, on the channel, we usually do travel content, travel vlogs. And I can't say usually because inconsistent queen. But yeah, so I'm going to keep looking down because that's where I've gotten questions. I put questions on my Instagram, or I put up the question on my Instagram and people responded. I will answer. There were quite a few questions that were asked, so I'll try answer most of them. And yeah, let's get going. Okay, so the question says, what do you do for a living? The most. I am an investment consultant at a leading insurance company in Botswana. I am also a business owner who owns a small but thriving travel agency called Passport 2. Please look for us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook as well, and book with us. We do curated experiences. Sorry, the wine clearly has already started kicking my ass. But yeah, we do very good quality curated experiences. And yeah, sometimes I do travel content and brand work. And then what did you study? I have graduated 3 times so far. I have a Bachelor of Social Sciences and Economics. I also have a postgraduate diploma in enterprise management and a master's in business administration and MBA focusing in economics. I'm currently enrolled at the Botswana Accountancy College doing a certificate of proficiency in short-term and long-term insurance. Of course, because we're trying to grow, What are your corporate ambitions? I think I've already answered that. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be the best at my role. I'm still very new in corporate, so I'm trying to find my feet and make sure that I do my employer proud as I progress. Question: are you married to Uyapo? There were so many of these questions. No, I'm not married to Uyapo. I'll leave it at that. Have you ever done a family trip across the country? Not across this country, but across South Africa, across Namibia, across Zimbabwe. Have you done Zambia? I don't think so. But yes, my family is a family of travelers. So, of course, I would come out as a little Malinaonyana, as you'd expect. Where in Namibia are you from? How often do you visit? I'm not from Namibia at all. I'm from Botswana, born and raised. My family, being my grandfather and them, I think my great-grandfather and them were from Namibia and moved to Botswana during conflict and all of that. So, yeah, I don't visit Namibia that often. The last time I went for my birthday trip on the 3rd of March in 2020, just before the pandemic. Beautiful, beautiful trip, guys. You have to go and see that vlog. You also have to see the country. What was your MBA experience like? Rhodes, right? Yes, I went to Rhodes Business School in Grahamstown, South Africa. The MBA experience was hectic. Okay. I did my MBA 23, one of the youngest, if not the youngest in my class. So, of course, it was a bit difficult. And to make it worse, I did year 1 and year 2 in the same year. So it was just exhausting, but it was fulfilling. There were great relationships that were built, great friendships that were nurtured there. And of course, just really, it's nice to know that I don't have to still worry about obtaining a master's. It's just about, what else we can do going forward. Where were you brought up? I was born in Jwaneng, Botswana. It's a small mining town. So that's where I was brought up. And then, why Miss Botswana? Has it always been your dream? No, pageantry has actually never been my dream. No offense, everybody's got their thing. Some of us, our thing is is monate bojalwa. I'm joking, like I'm kidding. But pageantry's never really been my thing. It was not my dream. Why? I really needed the money to start a business. So I did it and I got the money. So yeah. What inspired Passport 2? As I explained earlier, it is a travel agency, a boutique travel curatorship, I would really call. And what inspired it is really the love of beautiful things and the beauty of collaboration, which is what I see with my business partner. Look at me thinking as if he's sitting right here. But yeah, the beauty of collaboration and curating beautiful, unique experiences in untapped parts of the world is really what inspired us. And sitting around in the pandemic doing nothing made us feel like this is the time. This is the time. You've sat there saying you're too busy for how long? Let's go. This comment is like, I'm a fangirl, so my questions are a lot. Thank you. What's your go-to destination in Botswana? This is very easy. Maung. I love Maung with everything I am. It's got beautiful eateries. It's got a lovely energy. It's got that like small town feel, but like, man, I love it. I love Maung. That's my go-to destination. Where did you go to high school? I attended St. Mary's DSG in Pretoria. Yeah. Next question is, do you have any advice for young people in corporate? I am myself a young person in corporate, so I'm going to speak to what I tell myself, and hopefully it can relate to you as well. But the advice that I have for young people in corporate is make yourself indispensable, but also know that you're replaceable. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron. It sounds like it contradicts each other, and it does. But really what I'm trying to say is really work hard, stand out, go over and above, just do the work, do the work, but also have self-care in there, you know? Don't compromise your mental health, your physical health for a job. And this is not just for young people, for old people as well. You don't want to find yourself with hypertension and depression and anxiety and stuff, which is what a lot of us find ourselves with when we forget the beauty of work-life balance. What's one thing most people don't know about you? I think, well, my friend Melo says most people don't know that I'm absolutely ridiculous. So I'm very silly, I'm very playful, I like to joke, I like to make people laugh, and that's really what I like to do. So that's the one thing. Can you speak Herero? No, I cannot speak Herero, unfortunately. 3 things you're passionate about. Love, money. Did I say money? Love, money, growth. That's one thing I really try to do all the time. Those are the 3 things that I'm passionate about. Why did you cut your hair? Hair grows, dog. I don't know. I just felt like it, and yeah, I did it. And then, how do you save for travel? I usually try have a savings pocket where I know, okay, if I decide that this year I want to do 3 countries and this is how much I expect them to cost, I will try and save up for that in a different savings pocket. But to be frank with you, since the pandemic started, and even just before, my friend Riapo taught me that, like, of course, save, like, plan, like, let's go, you know, do the right thing. But sometimes let's just go, because at the end of the month, your money is finished anyway. And you don't even know, like, you don't even know what you spent it on. So a lot of the time, I don't save for travel too long. And I know that that's a privilege of mine, that I don't have to save for too long. But most of the time, I'm like, aight, dog, if I end up with like $500 left in my account, I'll know what I spent it on. And I spent it on experiences, I spent it on memories, and I spent it on something that no one can ever take away from me. Love your TikToks on investments. Thank you very much. I'm really trying to get into that. I'm hoping even a part of this channel will speak a little bit more about personal finance and ways that we can try and position ourselves to be better off than our parents as they wish for us, financially. And then, have you always known what you want to do? Are you living your dream life? No, I've not always known what I want to do. No. And living my dream life, I think I'm definitely living in a dream I had before. And my dream life now is something else, but I cannot deny that the life and the little luxuries that I can afford myself right now are things that I could only dream about 5 years ago. So to a certain extent, yeah. Okay, have you ever felt stuck in your career or in life in general? Yes, as a person who puts an immense amount of pressure on herself, I am constantly feeling stuck. No 2 days are the same in my life, and I love that about it. But you do feel like you're working, you're trying, you're pushing, and nothing is happening. But yeah, it happens. It happens. Do you have mentors? Assuming you do, how did you approach them? I do have mentors. Most of them are actually informal. Like, I didn't go out of my way to, say, can you mentor me, or can you whatever. You look at them from afar. You learn from them from afar. And if possible, connect them with them on social media, learn about them. My mentors currently are Mrs. Neo Bahatsu, Miss Lulu Rasebota, and Mrs. Mabunteta. Those are my 3 pillars in terms of women in corporate that I look up to, that I read and I learn from. And they just happened to me, really. But connect with people on social media. I swear, people are a lot more accessible than you think. And you don't also have to look for like the CEOs. You can ask, like, I'm a junior in corporate. I can go and ask someone who's just a bit above me and say, teach me, like, what can I do? And you know that these things need to be reciprocal. It can't always just be you, taking. You need to figure out what you can do to give back meaningful contributions to those people as well. Was it hard getting into corporate? Any tips for a recent graduate? It was extremely hard for me. Imagine me with 3 whole degrees, a master's degree in economics, and still struggling. The job market is not fair to anyone. Like, there's no one who it's easy for. Well, some, but it's difficult for most of us, really. Any tips for a recent graduate? It took me 5 full years to finally land a job in corporate. 5 years, with all my qualifications, with all my excellence that I think I try and portray, and it's hard. But in terms of tips, perhaps go into those offices or learn those people. Like, as I said, okay, you find out Horoboni works at a certain company. Bon, what do? You learn around what I do, and I then start to teach you what I do, and you then, get a bit of experience, and you're now exposed, so that when there is an opening, I then think, oh yeah, kana ke rutile Lerato, for example. I've taught Lerato XYZ. She might be a perfect candidate for this intern position or whatever it is. But yeah, it's hard, dog. Like, I'm saying it like it's easy, but it really does not favor anyone. How do you feel about turning 30? I feel confused, because, like, why are they letting teenagers turn 30? Like, but I'm feeling grateful. Man, I've had a good life. I've struggled, but I have thrived through the struggle. You know what I mean? Like, for someone who is struggling to have achieved so much is also just commendable, or I commend myself for the efforts that I've made. So I'm very proud to get into my 30th year, and I know this is going to be like the big year, We're going to do great things. We're going to do even better. I feel a lot more wise. Younger Bon was dizzy, impressionable, sad. And 30's Bon is joyful. She's joyful. And the final question was, what is the greatest financial lesson from your 20s? I don't think I saved enough, because I always said I was earning too little. But imagine in a 5,000 that you're earning 5 years ago, if you just put 100 bula away every single month for 5 years, what you'd have. So yeah, the lesson that I'd have is just try and save a little bit more, try and invest a little bit more, and try and enjoy a little bit more as well. Like, that's a financial thing as well. A lot of the time we say we'll do this later when XYZ happens, or when this happens. And my boy, people die. The pandemic taught me people die. Enjoy your money. That brings us to the end of our Q&A, Get to Know Me. Please comment down below the type of things you'd like to see on the channel going forward. I have a birthday party that I'm attending soon. So as all my friends are turning 30, so we've got a lot of celebrations coming. I want to know if you want to be part of them. Like, do you want to see what goes into preparing for that? Do you want to, get a day in the life of, and those are the kind of things that I would like to do, a lot more vlogs. But of course, this is your channel as much as it is mine. So I definitely want to hear what you guys want to see. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it interesting, getting to know me a little bit more. And I hope in this journey in the year of 30, I get to know you a little bit more too. So yeah, cheers.